anyone who does move in, the first thing we ask is why did you pick us? And right off the bat, and I've experienced it myself, when you walk in the front door, there's something different about this community. There is smiles on everyone's face, the warmth and friendliness that's there. We definitely have a service culture here. So the people that are working here are really working for our residents.
In this video, you'll meet Michelle White, who's a general manager of Delmanor Elgin Mills in Richmond Hill, Ontario. And in this video, she'll explain what she means when she says there's a focus on service within the Delmanor properties. And she'll also explain what she sees as changing or evolving with the residents in the next 5 or 10 years. So why don't you start by telling us 3 things that you love about your job?
Oh, only 3? First and foremost is the ability to build relationships with the people that live within our community, by far number 1. Working with an exceptional group of people who all have a common goal of providing the most compassionate, respectful care possible to these individuals, number 2. And what can I say? Every time I walk into this building, I have a smile on my face.
How did you find yourself drawn to this line of work and then specifically to Delmanor Elgin Mills?
Actually, next month marks the 26th year I've been in this industry. So I like to consider it more of a calling than anything else. When I initially started, it was, I'll be honest, just a job. And within 1 month, I'm like, wow, I can see myself working in the retirement field forever. It's absolutely 100% gratifying.
What do you find gratifying about it?
Every little chance you have to put a smile on someone's face, to take a concern and turn it around, make it a positive experience, just to be able to enrich the lives of the people living within these communities, that's enriching. That is purposeful. It's why I do what I do.
And as general manager, I imagine you have your hands in a lot of different areas and your mind in a lot of different areas about retirement living. How do you spend your day? What takes up a lot of your time?
For the most part, what takes up the most amount of my time, but I don't actually consider it taking up time, is just being able to speak with the community members here, their family members, just kind of make things as good as possible for them. So really it's one of those beautiful, beautiful roles.
And in terms of the offerings of retirement living that are in the area of Richmond Hill, what would you say makes Elgin Mills specific and unique? And what is specific about it that draws people to ultimately choose to live there?
Well, I can speak from experience here. Anyone who does move in, the first thing we ask is why did you pick us? And right off the bat, and I've experienced it myself, when you walk in the front door, there's something different about this community. There is smiles on everyone's face, the warmth and friendliness that's there. We definitely have a service culture here. So the people that are working here are really working for our residents. And you can see that, you can feel it just through every interaction you have. So I think that's definitely what sets us apart in Richmond Hill.
And can you explain more about what you mean by a service culture and the way that is enacted through the way that the staff operate their jobs and interact with their residents?
We actually have something called the Delmanor Experience. And where people go the extra mile, we ensure that every interaction we have, we go the extra inch. We go the extra inch in service. We try to anticipate service needs. So if we know that Mrs. Smith really enjoys having, let's say, oatmeal every morning, we ensure that we have it there. We ensure if she likes cinnamon with it, the cinnamon is there. So it's not an ask, it's an expectation, and the expectation to go above and beyond.
When you are talking to families who are interested in looking at Delmanor Elgin Mills as an option, there's often it comes with a lot of fraught emotions. Usually there's some disagreement. It's an emotional experience trying to start this new chapter in somebody's life. So how do you approach those conversations with families who are having trouble reckoning with this decision, and perhaps people have disagreements and different amounts of enthusiasm for making this choice?
Okay, well, that's actually par for the course. Finding a retirement community is a lifestyle change in a lot of ways. I find the easiest transition point is when somebody makes that decision for themselves. They have a need, they have a want, and they are open, but they also know what they're looking for. There is a lot of different choices out there. So you really have to figure out what's the most important items that I'm looking for in a community. And then the matchmaking starts from there.
What's on people's lists of priorities when they ultimately come to you?
Oh, it's totally personal.
Mm.
It's a personal choice for each individual. Some want to be able to come in, make friends, have a social aspect to their life that may have slowly dwindled over the years. For others, it's a health-related decision. Perhaps they're frightened being alone. It really depends on the person.
And well, on a similar note, how do you like to welcome new members into the residence, especially those who haven't made new friends in a long time in their life, or are perhaps on the shyer end of the spectrum and naturally just kind of keep to themselves? How do you welcome them into the community and make them feel a part of it?
Well, the nice thing is we have a process in place. So they may have met originally our community relations manager, and slowly they're transitioned over to myself. So I can act as a lead on their behalf to the move-in. Then we pair them up with our move-in coordinator for the actual day, and our move-in coordinator is fantastic. So she'll walk through the whole process of the move-in, and she'll introduce, we have a resident ambassador program. So we pair up the new resident with our resident ambassador, who's available by phone if they have any questions, and usually escort them down to the dining room for the first time, because that's definitely a nervous point. I know if I was in the news, I'd be feeling the same way. Where do I sit? What am I doing? Who am I meeting? So at least they have a first point of contact. They have a name. They have been paired with someone to help them through the process.
And speaking of dining, do you have a favorite item on the menu?
Oh, myself personally, lobster mac and cheese. But I think our most popular item, actually there's two. Our two most popular items are the hand battered fish and chips. So if you're into a lighter fare for, let's say, lunchtime, or the big one is prime rib with delicious Yorkshire puddings as fluffy as pillows.
And how is the menu built, and does it take into account different dietary needs, and does it also use consultation with the residents so they can have a say in what the menu's offering?
Check, and check. Actually, we work collaboratively as a team. So between our sites, all of our chefs have input through our corporate chef as well, who's absolutely amazing. They work together. They speak with the residents through meetings, figure out when we do our seasonal changes, what items our residents would like to see. Now, on a daily basis, we have a lot of options available. We may feature 2 or 3 items, but we always have additional items available for special dietary needs, or if somebody just doesn't feel like what's on the menu, we have something available for them.
And are dining times set? And is there assigned seating, or is it a more restaurant style of dining?
So we've tried both actually, but we do have set times. We found the times to work best for the residents. So at our particular community, that's what works for our people here, and that's their voice. So we do it that way.
And also for the activities, the programming, the outdoor outings, and trips outside of the residence. How does that communication happen in terms of if a resident wants to do something or has a desire to pick up a new hobby? Is there conversation between administration and planners and the residents on that as well?
We have an amazing Living Well team. When somebody moves in, we meet with that individual within the first week or so to go over hobbies they may currently have, what they may be interested in, so we can help pair them to activities and programs that are going on. We also have on a monthly basis a calendar review and the opportunity for any community member here to voice their opinion or give some insight into things that they would like to see. We want to keep things fresh. We want to keep them engaged. And where we can, we like to try new ideas as well. So be that with an outing, a program, entertainer. We do have tryout nights when it comes to entertainers. So the residents know that this is a new person. They get to vote whether or not they would like to see them back. So it allows them a voice to continue on, especially if they enjoy something, we want to know about it.
Right. So in addition, what else comprises the full Delmanor experience?
You don't live in our work. We work in your home. So we have to treat it that way. We are very respectful of the fact that these individuals have chosen to call our community home, and we want to make it feel as much like home as possible. So with that being said, really it's about our core values and being able to bring those core values to life. And we do that through the Delmanor Experience.
Out of the levels of care that are on offer at Elgin Mills, what happens when it's clear that a resident is they need a higher level of care? That maybe there was a fall or just a slight change in their behavior. What's the chain of communications that starts because of when there's a notice to be a need for it?
Well, the good news is because we have so many touch points with the individuals that live here, if there's a change that's noted, it could be from our housekeeper, it could be from one of the servers. The communication is spread directly to our nursing team. Nursing team, they're angels. Honestly, nurses, PSWs, they are the angels of the building that make sure that we stay healthy and safe. But just because someone is independent today, let's say, they may not have as many touch points with the health and wellness team. So we all have to work together to be able to ensure that if changes are occurring, our team is aware of it. So let's say the good news here is actually we have 3 different levels at Delmanor Elgin Mills. We do have independent living, we have assisted living, and we also have a memory neighborhood known as Memory Plus. So we do offer a broad spectrum, but let's say it is something that our team is unable to handle in a safe manner, where the residents' health could bring them to a point where they are unsafe living as they currently are. We work together with the resident and the family to find the safest possible alternatives for them. They're a member of our family. That's the way we would want to be treated. So.
And how do you like to establish communications with families outside of the residence when things like this happen, or even just in general, just to keep them informed of activities, programming, events that are ongoing at the residence?
So we actually have a family portal. So they are able to log on, see what's on the menu, see what our events are for the week, the month, whatever it may be. That way they can have that conversation with their parent as well if they have some concerns, or say, Mom, Dad, you know, you really should check out what's going on later this week. I know you'd be interested. So we are transparent with communication. Now, if it's a little bit more sensitive, that's a point of conversation that would happen with our health and wellness team. So that is a one-on-one open conversation.
And what's your relationship between the residents and the rest of the Richmond Hill community?
Well, I like to think we're great ambassadors for Richmond Hill, and we do our part as well. I know we have an active partnership with the McConaughey Center. Super organization. Anywhere we can support our community, we do. During the year, several times when we have fundraising events, etc., we like to keep our donations local. So we've also done some sponsorship work with the food bank, provided some of the donations from our drives directly to them. It's important to keep things local.
And what's the community that's immediately surrounding the residents like? Are there opportunities to go out and explore? Are there things nearby that are easily accessible?
Very much so. Most of our residents enjoy taking a walk right up to Loblaws. It's just steps away. So we have a lot of amenities available, and we also do have a bus that we set up for local trips, shopping, banking, anything that's really important to the people living here.
And in terms of the people who ultimately come to Elgin Mills, is there a commonality between them, whether that's they're from the Richmond Hill area and they'd like to stay local and perhaps meet new friends or old friends in the residence, or they have a desire for a certain lifestyle, or people tend to cite one feature or another? Do you find that there is a commonality between them, or is it unique and individual to every single person?
Actually, it's unique and individual to each person. We do have a lot of individuals who have lived in Richmond Hill for decades. And then we have others who've moved to Richmond Hill to be closer to the family members. We've actually had family members move in because of family members. So it's a rich tapestry. And I think that's actually one of those beautiful things that happens. It keeps us all unique.
And how would you describe the culture or the lifestyle of Delmanor Elgin Mills?
I believe our lifestyle is tailored to the individual that lives here. So if they were social and they came here for social reasons, they're part and parcel of our programs that go on. They've made new friends, they're connecting. For individuals who literally came here just because they wanted to feel safe, they can do that. And if they choose to be social, that is their choice. We're not going to force it. It's all about how they want to spend their retirement, not how we see they should be enjoying their retirement.
And is there a memory of a resident in your experience that stands out to you in terms of how Elgin Mills lived the Delmanor experience for this resident, or a resident who showed to you the importance of having a community like this?
I actually I have one wonderful man I'm thinking about. He was just an exceptional gentleman, and this is a few years back. He came in. The one item he had to leave behind when he moved in was his piano. So when he came to us, he saw the baby grand in the lobby and made his way into my office and said, "I understand your entertainers are there. I'm not much of a professional, but would it be okay if I practiced?" Of course you can practice. Oh my gosh, he was just amazing. So every I'd say five days a week, almost every day. He'd come down after lunch and he'd what he would call just tinkered around a little bit. So sometimes he brought sheet music, sometimes he didn't, and it only took 2 weeks before he started getting a crowd of ladies sitting around enjoying what he was playing. It gave him purpose, and I enjoyed it because it was maybe 50 feet from my office, so I could see him playing, I could hear him playing clearly, and on occasion he'd let me throw in a request. But yeah, he was incredible, incredible. I just miss him.
And how do you see Delmanor Elgin Mills growing in the next 5 or 10 years? Is there an avenue where you'd like to see programming develop, or perhaps a service or something to do with the building? Or if there's anything that you have planned coming up for the residents?
Well, the good news is within the past 5 years, we actually had a massive renovation here. We actually created more amenity space, so I'm hoping that'll be good for at least another 5-10 years. So things, I think the biggest change that we're going to see is just with the next wave of retirees. So I know there's a different mindset, and I can tell you over the past 26 years, even the original people from then who were residing in our retirement residences, they were different. Our current clientele is different, and I know the next 10 years is going to bring on a more active, let's say, more customer savvy type of resident, consumer savvy.
And what do you mean by that exactly? How do you think that will impact your operations?
Well, I'm starting to see the beginnings of it now. We have a lot of individuals, whereas even 10 years ago, they didn't have computers in their suites. Well, now there's tablets, there's iPads, and just at the drop of a hat, as you know, you can Google anything. So we're finding we're getting more tech savvy individuals who do their homework, and they do check things out, see what's out there, so they have a very good idea of the different choices that they have available for them.
And what's your advice to families or individuals who are looking at their options now?
Do your homework. It's go to places, tour places, get information, but not that you want to inundate yourself with a whole bunch of different places to look at, but pick 3 typically that would spark your interest. Have a look at what they have to offer and see what's really important to you.